Sorry about your ears. Hello, everybody. We're getting started in just 1 second. All right. Let me... Nintendogs. That's really funny.
Hey, you guys hear?
Did you guys hear that? Okay, I am... Hello. I was getting mixed up with another game. Is there a first-person game that takes place in like a vaguely European setting that has the big mechanical machines in the background and
Is that,
in front of a pastoral setting or something?
Yeah, it's like Tale of the Loop, whatever. What's the fuck?
It's a loop.
Fuck.
Deathloop. We did it.
Idea.
You know what Tale of the Loop is?
Don't know. Half-Life 2. Yeah.
Tales from the Loop or some shit like that. It's a show based on those painters, but that guy that's like machinery, like basic stuff in front of like very rural stuff.
I don't know. This sounds above me.
Simon Stalenhall.
Oh yeah, visualizer guy. Tales from the Loop.
Yeah, Tales from the
I don't
Loop.
know that one. Yeah.
What's the game? I know the game you're talking about.
Right, so there's that. There's last of the Nintendogs rundown. Let me get the Discord app open here.
Rolling Stone.
You know what? That reminds me, I should get that thing going.
Oh yeah, Mike, do I need to yell at you about
Generations. Generation Zero. That's the game you're talking about.
Oh,
were you Sifu? Are you responsible for this, Mike?
We are not responsible, Sifu.
You did this, Jen.
I did not do that.
You did this shit. You said it's like a fighting game. It's like, no.
Mike, what are you about to say?
This is all hypotheticals because I honestly don't even remember anymore.
Oh my god.
But if somebody was like, all right, we have 4. Is there a 5th fighting game? Someone said Sifu. I could see myself going, ha, sure. I'm not caring.
You motherfucker did this.
Wow.
You piece of shit.
Hey, feel free to
sure,
clip
you
that
fight people.
and spread that everywhere, and then tell everyone to come yell at us, and we'll only read it in the
Post it on
super
fucking
chat.
Reddit.
Don't
gaming.
spread it, because Jeff got mad at you for saying worse about the voting process once. I don't want. Again, I don't even know. I don't remember. That's probably not true. It's a joke, everybody.
Joke. Jokes are here.
We're joking. Come on.
It's worth getting really mad about because.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's a game award.
Right. The one that. What that's just Multiverses is gonna win that anyway. What other fighting games were this year?
Rumble versus deserves it more than Sifu.
Rumble versus.
Absolutely,
Rumble
that's a
versus
really good-
not in there. Oh my god.
You want to talk about snubs?
Man, that's a really good poll. It didn't even occur to me, and I'm ashamed.
Yeah, well,
Oh, God.
you know, we got a lot going on.
No one thought to text your good pal Sean. Hey,
Fighters
what are the
15.
fighting
Was King of
games
Fighters
I looked at the
15
fighting
this
game.
year?
I looked at the fighting game category, and I went like, oh, "Fuck all that," and I just left it blank and moved on with my life.
All right.
Yeah.
I only like Stray.
Look, last
That's
year,
the only
fucking
fighting game I like.
It Takes Two won Best Family Game, which is definitely not
The
the
game
spirit
about
of that
divorce.
category. Literally just a game about a family, not a game for families. It's very different.
I think it's like Time Magazine voting in this stuff too. It's
I mean, can like
worry about
Ragnarok win it too? Can Ragnarok be in the family?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sad.
Category?
Yeah, point.
We should get started here.
yes, I am.
Tweeting?
Hey,
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's a bold idea.
Play Pentiment, people. It's on Game Pass. Play Pentiment. Don't be stupid.
Pentiment's real good.
Jeff,
Don't
you
be
see I started
stupid.
Vampire Survivors
And pick
last night?
Rick.
I didn't see that. What was I doing last night? They had me so busy. I don't know. I was playing Pentiment actually.
Yeah.
How are you liking it? Because I know you had your
Yeah, it's
skepticism.
Yeah, I was enjoying it. Like my last run was finally a pretty decent one. Chris started it today. He was really into it.
Yeah, I mean,
Really
it's-
more so
it's-
than me even, I think.
It's an upgrade
like
fest.
those.
So if anyone's
It is
into
an
that,
upgrade fest. Fun stuff. Best fight game of the year, Final Fantasy 14.
Pentiment. I went with the theologist, and now I'm a cultist shit. I know about the stars and the death, brother. I know
all right,
everything.
chat. We're getting started right now. I did the music. I got that. I got the Discord app here. Let me just get.
I think
Stream
music
elements.
might be doubled for them.
Yeah, let me check.
hey,
I
Yes,
think
it
Sister
is.
Illuminata wants a piece of me.
That's
I don't
easy to
know. It
fix.
feels like that.
Let's just turn off samples there on the routing table.
hey, you guys hear me?
There you go, everybody. Thank you for letting me know that, Sean. All right. I am logging into Stream Elements, but I'm also going to viewer activity
There you
there.
go.
And now we are good. Okay. Mike, if I
Okay.
count us in, are you going to be good to go?
Mikey, ready?
All right. Here we go.
Yes, big.
5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hello, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I'm a Nintendog. Woof,
We
woof,
are
woof.
the last of the Nintendogs.
Woof.
Today, let's get mad about the Game Awards.
Yay!
Let's talk about the NPDs calmly, and also our favorite GameCube box art. Wow, what a packed show today, Jeff! It's gonna be absolutely wild in here. How wild in are you right now? Are you a wild boy?
I'm raging and turgid to get mad at all these news stories.
I've been put on a steroid after my colonoscopy last week because of some inflammation, and it has a lot of side effects, including some crankiness. So this might be interesting. We'll see.
Ooh,
And
okay.
yeah-
Don't poke the bear, everybody. All right.
No. Yeah, but like it'll come in a weird way because I'm not actually mad about the Game Awards, but I'll find like a way to be mad about the reaction to the
Sure.
Game
Yeah.
Awards.
Well,
which is
listen. You're
just as
gonna find a way
toxic.
to be mad. That's the important thing here. That's what I'm looking for. That's all I ask for you, Mike. It's just to be a little mad every once in a while for our show. Makes
And
it
then people-
entertaining.
And I know people like it when I'm mad. I think I've been too chill. It's time I start telling you people how I really feel again. I'm tired of holding back. Yeah, where's Buff Mike? I'm kind of upset that these aren't the steroids that are gonna make me like
Right.
muscular and give me a lot of back acne, like the wrestlers in the '90s. You know,
Yeah, back knee. Absolutely.
the back knee, or some wrestlers today. But that's like when you see the back knee, you're like, all right, I know what you're doing.
I look for the big heads. Any person that's got like a bigger head than normal, I'm like, you're on HGH. You're on human
Yes.
growth hormone to hell.
Well, now that we're judging people's bodies, why don't we judge
What we
some
do
Game
here.
Award nominations?
Sure, I can do that.
Please. Jeff, the Game Award nominations came out yesterday. A lot of people lost their minds. But let's talk about some Nintendo highlights here first. In the Game of the Year category, which Nintendo usually gets some kind of representation in. Last year they had Metroid Dread in there. This year, Xenoblade Chronicles 3
Yes.
did make it there. That's pretty impressive, Jeff. JRPG, pretty niche. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a game I rail on a lot, but even its big fans, I think, would have been surprised if it was nominated for Game of the Year that year. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was a pretty big step up, I think, in a lot of ways, and this is definitely a big victory for that franchise.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit surprised. I think it probably deserves it. The way, like, even I was getting into it, and then the way the people who are into those kinds of games talk about this game, it is beloved. It feels like, well, we're going to come out of the Switch generation, and there will be a handful of games that everyone points to, and then when you say, well, what else? I think the first game at that point is going to be Xenoblade Chronicles 3, where it's like, oh, that's one of my favorites on the system. Maybe my favorite, just because that's my type of game. It's, memorable characters, really good battle systems, really engaging upgrade paths when you get into the job system. It's pretty well done, and I'm glad it's getting the recognition here. It doesn't stand a chance of winning, but it's cool that it's there.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's the kind of the thing about all this is I know it's boring, but I still feel like Elden Ring should win and probably will win. God of War might have a shot just because of the newness of it, but probably still just Elden Ring. Nintendo kind of owned the RPG category in general. Actually, it's 4 of the 5 games or Switch games, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Live Alive, Triangle Strategy, and then I think one I'm forgetting for some reason, but Elden Ring's the 5th one, and that's also probably just going to win that as well, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, but still, it's nice because I don't know, Switch had a really good RPG year. Oh, Pokemon Legends Arceus is the other one. So Switch had a good RPG year, and I'm sure maybe for some people it's too many RPGs, but still, it is nice to see that they were mostly all very good.
Yeah, if you're a person who needs your games to be 100 hours plus, like Michael Hyam was saying on the Bombcast today, you are feasting right now. You are in a good place.
There's some on there, like Trails from Zero's not there, and that's kind of a port of a game finally translated, I guess you could say. So
right.
Does that count? Right. But there's a lot of RPGs. Tears of the Kingdom is in the most anticipated category. Jeff, probably a strong chance of winning that one, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, God, what does that even mean? Because if you read the category description, it's that the promise is to bring new things to the landscape of game. It's bitch, no, we're just excited to play another Zelda.
Yeah, well, hey, look, they have to pretty it up a little. They gotta get those wordsmiths paid. What else was it? Was Final Fantasy 16 was also there. Hogwarts Legacy actually made that last, which I thought was a little surprising especially when Street Fighter 6 didn't. But I guess fighting games still.
Right, fighting games are for fighting game fans, and there's just not a lot of those in traditional media, which is the media that Keeley's going to for these awards. So I think he also goes to some content creators, but there's not enough of those to make up for, we're going to go to all the video game websites, and we're going to go to USA Today and Time and stuff like that. There's a list of the people who are the outlets that vote on this stuff, and it's a lot of stuff like that. And they're just not going to be into fighting games.
It's worth saying that we are both among those outlets. GamesBeat gets a vote. I think Giant Bomb gets a vote.
Giant Bomb gets a vote.
Right?
GameSpot gets a vote. I know Tam and Lucy voted on the GameSpot side and stuff like that. So yeah.
Thank you, Nick Turbo. Starfield and Resident Evil 4 are the other 2 for next year. So yeah, there's a lot of good games there. I think that
I think Hogwarts being on there speaks to there haven't been a ton of announcements for next year about guaranteed big games that are coming out.
Yeah, I guess I guess the one that seems like the snub there, which the snub for most anticipated game, the snub would be, I guess, Street Fighter 6 for me. Maybe something else, because there are things like Perfect Dark and
right, but no one believes those games are coming. Right?
Yeah, I don't really believe that.
I mean, I was told they're coming in 2023, a year and a half ago, and I still don't believe they're coming. So
no. Oh, don't let Xbox Killer hear that. Kirby, only nominated for Best Family Game. This is Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Now, as far as snubs, and again, when I say snubs, I mean this is kind of fun to talk about. Not actually bad. Not like Kirby in our thumbnail. He was fucking pissed.
Yeah, right. Kirby's losing his mind.
Kirby's losing his mind, but
he's the most powerful thing in the galaxy, so he's allowed to be a little mad.
Right, but I find it. But there is part of me I would have liked to have seen Kirby nominated for Game of the Year. Instead of maybe I don't want to go after Stray, Jeff. I hinted at going after Stray, and I got a response. So I gotta be cool around all these crazy cat people. I'm a crazy cat person. That game's mid. I'm sorry, it is. It's fucking mid. I don't get it. It's just it's a fun little adventure thing. It's fine for what it is. There's no earthly reason to put it up on this pedestal that it got put up onto. I'm glad people like it. Enjoy the games you enjoy. Come on now.
Neon White, even Sifu. Like, there are better games that could be on the Game of the Year list.
Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors 100% should be the indie game on there, not Sifu.
Do you feel like, I feel like that got a little bit of this, but I think even more so Horizon Forbidden West got a lot of people like, and what else? Oh, Horizon Forbidden West, I guess. And then
enough
sure. Of that.
Right.
Like, again, Horizon Forbidden West, definitely not a bad game, but I don't know if it's that many people's favorite game of the year. And then I haven't played Plague Tale, Jeff. I haven't played the first one. I barely even understand what those games are. I didn't
like,
think there was
if you
that
took,
much buzz for it.
If you took a Last of Us and turned it into a triple I game, a triple indie game instead, and so with all the limitations that would entail, but still kept it really pretty, that's what it is.
Right. But again, it's going to be Elden Ring with God of War as like the crapshoot here anyways. I understand, like, it's nice to see your favorites at least get a nomination, even when you know they can't win. But
yeah. I mean, what was that one last year that you actually got out of your seat for? Final Fantasy 14?
No, was it? Yeah, you're right. Something did get a Game of the Year award. Now I'm going to look that up. But
I think it was I thought it was Final Fantasy 14.
No, because Endwalker was December, so it didn't even get Game of the Year. That was
but not Game of the Year. I think it got best ongoing or something.
Yeah, it won that exactly. I know what you mean. Right? Yes. Oh, that whole thing. Yeah, I thought you meant nomination.
And you're like,
when it won.
I guess you were pretty excited. Your friends all came in the room and made it like they were screaming and stuff and cheering for you or whatever. But yeah, that it's fun. You want the games you like to win, of course you do. But it's just I work there now. I always like the Giant Bomb Awards more than the Game Awards. Like, I always had way more fun with people actually discussing the games, like bringing their arguments and their connections to the medium and putting them all on display. I remember last year was Jan like talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was like, that was one of the things I heard. I was like, yeah, I'm so glad that I was I basically came to the same realization during our Game Awards. And it's like, yeah, that stuff is what I like way more. Let's just see the new game trailers. And if a game I like gets an award, that's, icing on top, but it's just not worth all this. It's just such an afterthought for most of the voters. That's, what are we actually doing here?
Yeah, exactly. There's like, I don't even want to say snubs, even though I put that word giant in our thumbnail, but like, there's other things I would have liked to have seen. Like maybe, I don't know, like a little bit more for, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that I just happen to like a lot. Like in the music category, it would have been cool to see Kirby. Even Sonic, maybe that's one Sonic could have gotten a nomination in. But again, like, that's how these things always are. This is a collective group's like effort, not talking with each other. There's going to be kind of weird little intricacies and quirks from that, and it's never going to be as interesting as a single person or a much smaller group's list. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but I still think there's value, and I still think it is coming to a consensus. I don't think a bad game has ever won like Game of the Year award before, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, did Red Dead Redemption 2 win?
I don't think so, actually, Jeff.
So then, yeah, you're right.
I mean, I remember the weirdest one, but I think it was just a bad year was when Dragon Age Inquisition won. And again, not a bad year.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I looked, it was up against Bayonetta 2, Dark Souls 2, Hearthstone was not for Game of the Year, and Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. Interesting. Bayonetta 2 was nominated. I guess Bayonetta 3 didn't get much. I haven't played that yet.
Bayonetta 3 came out a bit late. I mean,
a bit late, but it's also there's some people kind of not down on it. I mean,
people really hate that ending. I haven't seen it, but people really hate that ending.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly right. Actually, here's all the winners from the year starting in 2014: Dragon Age Inquisition, then Witcher 3, Overwatch. Man, what a difference between Overwatch and Overwatch 2, huh? I mean, Overwatch 2 didn't get
2015.
2016 was Overwatch.
2016, right? Okay.
Yeah, the Breath of the Wild, God of War, Sekiro. So that's interesting because it was God of War and Sekiro, and now like both of their sequels / follow-ups are going against each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then 2020 was Last of Us Part 2, which is boring maybe, and then It Takes Two. What was Last of Us Part 2 up against? I'm gonna see that.
Yeah, but the Last of Us Part. I mean, like, but
of course it was gonna win.
These are award bait games. I mean, these games are made to win these kinds of awards. Like,
yeah, but it was up against like Animal Crossing: New Horizons and Hades and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Those would have been cool
Hades.
Choices,
man, I was so ready for Hades to win.
Yeah,
God, I remember
it felt
that.
like it had a real shot there too.
Yeah, man, Hades is so goddamn good.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those ones that really sticks with me even after, like, a lot of times I'll have a hot and heavy relationship with a game and then I'll move on. Like Dead Cells, I love Dead Cells, but I've mostly moved on from Dead Cells in like That's fine. It happens. Hades, I don't know. I'll never move on from Hades, I don't think.
Yeah. So it's not going to be a big day for Nintendo, at least in terms of awards there. I mean, Kirby might have a good chance of winning Best Family Game, at least. And Tears of the Kingdom will probably win most anticipated. There wasn't much for like Splatoon 3, but as much as I like Splatoon 3, I think me and you both admit it sure is more Splatoon. So do you have to give that a lot of awards, maybe?
No, it'll make enough money. They'll be drying their eyes with dollar bills, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Mario Strikers probably got a sports nom at least, but won't win that.
No.
So that's it with the Game Awards, Jeff. Again, there's a lot of takes out there. And look, I also like talking about this stuff. Some people seem to be getting genuinely worked up this time. And
what are the big things? The big calamities are Elden Ring doesn't have a narrative, just a brain dead take. I mean,
that's a weird take.
It has more lore than it has plot. I'll give you that much. But playing a game, you create your narrative, and it makes it a lot easier if there is a lore to play off of.
I mean,
all this stuff happens in the intersections.
Just because I didn't have all of the piece of information, I still understood the story and like what was generally happening. I knew what was going on, and I kind of understood my place in it. So yeah, that was weird. And the whole Sifu fighting game thing, I find more funny than anything. Whatever.
Right? Yes. That's just stupid.
That's just stupid. I just have a good chuckle at that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jeff, do you want to talk about some NPD things here?
I do. Also, I agree with Nintendogs. I think narrative is a pretty broad term. It's agree.
A very broad term. Like, nobody would ever say best plot.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's stupid.
So, Matt Piscatello here said this is for October's NPDs, which just came out yesterday. PlayStation 5 was the best-selling video game hardware of October in both unit and dollar sales. Well, Xbox Series ranked second across both measures. Jeff, that would put Switch at number 3.
Time to panic! It's all going down! Sell!
It's done! Shit! Last of the Connectables! Switch now! Quick!
Nintendo's going third party!
Gosh, this was kind of like our topic last week, actually. It's like, ooh, is it like, or last week or 2 weeks ago, ooh, is it like near the end for the Switch? And I don't know.
It just is. Like... That's what's happening here. The natural course of things. And there are people who, this is another thing people are freaking out about. There's people like saying, okay, here's RGT's thumbnail. It's him standing in front of a Switch and a fire. And it's like, bad things are happening for the Switch. And of course he's playing it up because he's got to get the bag. Do your thing, RGT. But then some
we
people
did
the
same thing this week. We got angry Kirby looking at Jeff Keighley.
Exactly. Get us the bag. But that people argue with him. It's like, listen, things aren't actually going bad for the Switch. It's doing just fine. They're going to sell out like always. And it's like, no, listen, it just is at the end of its life, and this is normal, and this is the way it's supposed to happen. And just because it hasn't happened until now doesn't mean it wasn't ever going to happen. We're just here. It makes sense. It's the right time. People are ready for a new Switch. Things have pushed they've dialed up the heat on the Switch a little bit, whether it's the Steam Deck, the piracy, getting new gen consoles that look way, way, way better and run games at 60 frames per second in 4K. A lot of stuff has happened, and now all that stuff is just kind of building up, and people are looking at their Switch and going, all right, Bayonetta 3, cool, but I don't even know if I want to go play on my Switch. That's happening more frequently right now, and that's causing people to generally cool on the idea of the Switch until Nintendo's ready to refresh, and they'll probably be ready pretty soon.
Yeah, I think that's right, and it's just definitely feeling that way. I think we're all expecting to hear something next year, and if Nintendo was, for whatever reason, dragging their feet on this a little bit, which I can't even imagine is true, I'm sure that they're probably more invested in moving things along here. Let's talk about the software a little bit. There's a lot of new games and sports games dominating the top of the list. Obviously, Modern Warfare 2 at the top. Gotham Knights did get to number 2, which, I guess, almost, of course it should. It's this big AAA multi-platform game, but still, there was a lot of negativity around that. This is almost the same exact thing that happened with Saints Row, if you remember, Jeff. It just kind of came out. It seemed like it was fluttering. Then we saw the NPD, and I was like, maybe it's fine. But then, the longer-term narrative was still, no, they're disappointed in that.
Right, yeah.
So who knows? Then FIFA, then Madden, then NHL, and then at 6 is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This is its debut month.
And it does include digital.
It does include digital now. How about that?
For a Ubisoft game, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so it's hard to judge this because, again, of course, all these sports games and then Call of Duty are going to do well. It's going to struggle against Gotham Knights even because it's not multi-platform. So that's probably, I guess, right for Sparks of Hope, huh?
Yeah, I think it's maybe underperforming a little bit, but for the most part, I think it's probably doing just fine. It's the kind of game that probably will get a slight discount for Black Friday. It's probably going to have a better tail than some of those other games. But it has Mario right in the name, and you kind of think maybe you could do a little bit better than that. But for the most part, this is where I would expect it to be, probably. If I really sat down and looked at what those games are going to do, yeah, that's probably where it should be.
I guess what makes me would maybe raise an eyebrow here is that right under it, number 7, jumping up from number 291 last month, is Persona 5, largely because it was on Switch. So it almost feels like, wow, almost just as many people bought a port of Persona 5 than bought the brand new game Sparks of Hope. Maybe that's not a super accurate read, but that's kind of what that feels like.
It is what it feels like, yeah. So I don't know. It's probably doing just fine. It's probably, I mean, especially for what the game is, it probably has a pretty small team at Ubisoft working on this. It's not a Assassin's Creed team. This thing's probably selling just fine.
But yeah, good for Persona 5. Really big jump. I can't believe people actually did want to play that on Switch.
I mean, it's hard for me to fathom that people are going to buy some game that came out on another platform just because it's available on Nintendo Switch. That seems so unlikely.
Right? It's bizarre. We've never had data for this before. So then at number 8 is NBA, it's another sports game. Then you have Bayonetta 3 at number 9. So in the top 10, just barely, although again, it's a pretty congested list because of all the sports games and new releases like Call of Duty. So hard to really tell if that's good or not. I don't know. Do you have a read on that?
Which game was this? I'm sorry.
Bayonetta 3 at number 8.
That was like one day of
9.
Sales, right?
You're right. It did come out right at the end of the month. That's true.
And the NPD only went through the 29th, I think. So I think it was literally one day of sales.
Okay, so that's fair then.
So I think there's a possibility that we'll see it high on the list again next month, or maybe in the same spot again next month. And it's like, okay, it was just split across that weekend or something like that. So I think it's probably doing better. But I mean, that one doesn't include digital, right? It should have the asterisk next to it. I can't remember.
That has a big old asterisk.
So yeah, that doesn't include digital, and it's one day of sales.
Yeah. So then, like the rest of the list, there's some evergreen Nintendo stuff. Splatoon 3 is at 12. It was 4 the month before. Mario Kart 8 was at 11, still doing good. Switch Sports 18, Smash Brothers 20. Jeff, not Nintendo related, but this is only the second month for Last of Us Part 1, and it's already not in the top 20. Am I finding that more interesting than I should? Am I just looking for validation because of all the crap I said about it, or is that mildly interesting?
I think that's mildly interesting. I guess the real test will be maybe it was always going to be like that, and it's going to pop back up when the show comes out, and it's going to be like number 3 again when the show comes out. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. But I think it's at least mildly interesting. I would have expected it to still be in that top 20, that the 10 to 20 range, but still in there.
I wouldn't have expected Nier Automata to outsell it this much, which I think also got a boost because of a Switch port, right?
Right, exactly.
217.
People really like that Switch port also, so like it got a lot of positive buzz.
Yeah, Nier Automata, there's a game that overperformed whatever anybody could have expected for it.
Yep, I mean, It's really hit with a pretty significant audience.
Sure did. Yeah, I just randomly remember too how mad, now that we're on a tangent, I was watching the Giant Bombcast today, and you guys were just all piling on the PlayStation 5's design, which is a beautiful console, Jeff.
I said I love how ugly it is.
Damn it, Jeff. That's like when you say you love Elden Ring because it's such a bad game.
I said no. I said it's a bad game, which makes it crazy that it is better than any other game. Like that's what I say, and I still believe that.
Oh, Jeff, you beautiful bastard! You. Well, guess what? I got.
Sorry, I want to look at this Nintendo top 10 real quick. I just wanted to see where Persona was on there. So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. But for the Nintendo platforms, it goes Sparks of Hope, Bayonetta 3, Persona, of course, then Mario Kart 8. So, yeah, and Bayonetta.
Where's Nier on that?
Where is Nier? Nier is number 8, and it's yeah. So, Bayonetta without digital above Persona 5 on the Nintendo list. So Persona 5 getting a huge bump from Steam as well there is what that means.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yep.
All right. Hey, Jeff, Team Watertype won the Splatfest. It swept every category.
We did it.
We did it.
Absolutely.
It was
Man, I was
all
getting my ass kicked in that. I guess I think maybe the sweaty people are playing Splatfest. I don't know.
well, it was. I mean, my problem is that I barely played since the last Splatfest. So
Shut
it's
up,
kinda
Sean.
hard.
It was all us. I
It's
can
kinda
read
hard.
sarcasm.
It's kind of hard to come back like not playing for a month because
It's gotta be. It was real. But I mean, I think
Yeah.
what happened is like people learned those maps because I remember I would just go
Sneak
across the
by.
middle, sneak by, get behind them, and I was doing that to everybody for the first couple of weeks, and then I tried it that night, and every single match they were just hunting me down like I was running away with their baked apple pie that they left on their windowsill. I was like, I cannot believe every time I try to do this, 2 or 3 are chasing me down. What are you doing to the rest of the team? It turned out, no, they already killed everybody else. They're just that
We're
good.
already dead. They
Yes.
have map awareness now.
Map
What's going
awareness, they're
on here?
communicating. It's like, it was nuts.
Plus, like, because Team Watertype was already winning because, of course, it was the best choice.
Right.
So we were like the defenders on those tri-color Splatfest, which were kind of weird and funky and maybe
They're not-
frustrating to play.
Yeah, not well designed, right? Because so what the problem is as the team that was in the lead, we start with 4, and we're going against 2 other teams, and they have 2 players each. But they have a thing in the middle that they can, like, if they sit on it long enough, they can activate it, and it rains down their color. And we can't activate it. All we could do is defend it, but we have to defend it while also inking as much as possible. And it really splits up your attention. And I'm sure there's a better way to do it. And we were playing pretty casually on the last night of this, but it was still very frustrating, hard to get the hang of.
Yeah. But it was, the Splatfests are still fun. I'm glad the right guys won this one.
Yep. Right side of history.
Yeah. It is weird, though, that they wanted to do these 3-way Splatfest before they actually just were able to do 4 versus 4 versus 4. They had to, really, finagle this strange way of doing it.
Yeah, it feels like a very Nintendo solution to a problem that probably didn't exist.
Yeah, but that's fun. All right, Jeff. So that does it for our main topics here. Everybody, if you are watching live, please hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate it. If you have any questions for us or comments, you can send in a super chat. We will read that live on the air at some point during this show. We're going to talk about our favorite GameCube box art soon, too. So if you want to tell us about one of those, please feel free. But let's see what questions we got from our...
Actually, Mike, can we take a quick break?
No. I mean, okay.
All right, I hit the button. Cool. We can come back whenever you want. I don't know how long these ads play on YouTube, but whatever. We can just come back. The final video will be fine. So
that's fine. I'm gonna pee.
Okay. Cool.
I had this opportunity.
Message retracted from Turbo Sean. That's always fun. I wonder what bullshit he's talking. Nick Turbo says no break for you. Mike's drinking pee right now. Oh no. I am realizing how little time I have to catch up on Game of the Year, and I really want to finish Pentiment. That game's pretty long, but I'm about halfway through, so I'm gonna see it through. And I'm beating Kirby. I've been playing. I'm just straight up just playing with my daughter because she really wants to play. So well, just help me play through the end. So that's actually helped a ton. So I'm getting through the end of Kirby and really loving it. It's gonna be in my top 10. But I want to go back to Pokemon Legends Arceus, and there's just gonna be no real way to do that. I have 20 days basically, if that. Honestly, not even that. I've got let's see here, 5. What's that be? 12.
Oh no.
19. And then so I got 24ish, 23ish days, I suppose. Although I'm gonna be pretty busy on most of those days. I'm just running out of time. Yeah, I mean, another Pokemon game coming out. I don't know if the new Pokemon game's going to be on my list.
We'll see. I felt that way about Guardians last year. Now that I'm playing it, I'm really feeling it. I should have played this and advocated for it more. It feels kind of bad. Hey, I am but one man. I'm too busy making sure that Sifu gets nominated for best fighting.
That's right.
You motherfucker.
Listen, we need you doing the real work.
Battles to win.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, don't even. Oh my god.
Dear Lord.
I am literally getting stressed about the RPGs on Switch because it's I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go back to Mario plus Rabbids.
I know, right? I'm not even thinking about playing that actually. I want to
play Tactics Ogre. I want to play Trails from Zero. Those two, I absolutely have to play in my mind, and it's hard.
Tactics Ogre, you don't have to play for Game of the Year though, but you can.
No, but I'm just talking about like I want to play
Right.
games.
Right.
I mean, I guess
That's
if it
Ogre
was,
is good. Though.
I don't know.
That's Switch Sports. That's a fun one.
the-
All right.
the important thing is that I'm-
We can come back whenever you're
come
ready,
back.
Mike.
I am ready.
Okay, do it.
All right, we are back. Jeff, we got our questions from the Discord community here. Let's see what these little pups are up to, huh?
Let's do it.
All right, you like that, huh? We should
Yeah.
call our audience pups more. It's cute.
Pups, yeah.
Yeah, they're not Nintendogs. We're the last ones, but they could be pups.
Yeah, they could be tiny little pups.
We'll have to euthanize them before they grow up so that they can't be fully formed Nintendogs. but
Absolutely. We should definitely kill them.
we should- Benji Glassky, he says, "Hey, hot dog water drinkers." That's the meanest thing he said yet. Got any memorable shitty player 2 third-party controller experiences? PS sports story hype. There was that one Super Nintendo third-party controller. I feel like everybody had. We had one of them. It was real shitty. I think the D-pad wasn't an actual D-pad. It was like some touch thing. Kind of like the awful Steam Deck controller, the Steam controller. Am I
You mean
right?
that steaming pile of shit, you mean?
Yeah, I'm glad that we sabotaged that thing so
Yeah.
that no one could ever enjoy playing video games.
I'm glad that we're like vanilla casual console gamers. Like, that's just so we can kill your darling.
You know what's weird though? All those like kind of cheap Switch controllers you can get. Meanwhile, those are all pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like
Third
they're all
party controllers
fine.
got pretty good.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got one. Let me see if I can bring it up, the image of it. There we go.
I need it.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of this SNES controller that we had a kid. It was always like, you don't want this one.
Yeah, let me see if this
There's
is...
all those gross Mad Cats one. Like Mad Cats was like, unless it was they made some decent Dreamcast stuff. I feel like Mad Cats, and then after that, all the Mad Cats stuff was terrible.
I had this Blockbuster N64 controller. That is kind of an abomination.
Oh wow, I remember this thing. Yes.
I had like 2 of these. They were cheap. Like, controllers got expensive real fast. Like I could convince my parents to like either get a game or a controller. And the way I could get away with getting both is, well, you settle for the third party Mad Catz Blockbuster bullshit. And I made the calculation in my brain. Like, okay, I would rather have more games. Most of the time I'm playing by myself. I'll just take more games. And then when my friends are over, they can play with this bullshit. So we played a lot of GoldenEye with this thing, a lot of Mario Kart with this thing. And it's real trash, but I used it for years. I had at least 2 of them. We used them for years and years and years.
Wow, man, look at that thing. It's like a mistake.
Yes, it's like, it feels like an abomination. It feels like it was halfway done being designed and someone just said, print that accidentally.
Print it. Yeah. It's like that. It's like the mean dad from Elf. Print it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Next one here is from the Egg Doctor, who says, "Salutations. My 3-year-old is showing an interest in games, but the Switch controller is too big. Any recommendations on a smaller controller for kids?" Lots of controller questions, Jeff. How about you? What controller does your 3-year-old use?
Yeah, they are having good luck with that 8-bit Ultimate. I think if you want just a generalized controller for a lot of stuff, the new Xbox Series X and S controller fits every size of hand really well, I found. Now, it's not going to work on your Switch. The closest thing to that is the 8-bit Ultimate. But I don't know. You can go and order mini-sized controllers for really cheap on Amazon. Controllers are very inexpensive there. And so I would just go look around and find like a $15 one on there. And if it breaks, it breaks. It's like $15. It's disposable at that point.
If he breaks, he breaks. Dr. Sus says, "Hey, Jeff, mime fucker Grubb, and Mike blank Minotti." Well, man, considering he called you a mime fucker, I think I'm glad he forgot to give me a nickname. In the grand landscape of gaming, which is more impactful, expressive sandbox open world games or immersive storytelling games? I don't think one is inherently more impactful than the other. That sounds like a real like Geneva Convention answer. That's probably not the right word.
It sounds like a diplomatic, yeah. Like you're just trying to avoid upsetting either side.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's how I feel. I've played plenty of like emotional open world games, and I've played many of like more linear story based games, and both of them.
You do need both. I am in my heart of hearts. It is expressive sandbox open world games, and when like my Gremlin mode side comes out, I will be like, those are the only real games. and all this other shit trying to be pretending it's a fucking movie is loser shit, and it's because it's made by cowards that don't believe in the medium. And then I'll catch myself really enjoying Guardians of the Galaxy or Pentiment. Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I am such a stupid fool. These things have their place. Obviously, they do, and it's not like they are in no way less games than these other games. The games just they put the mechanics in your brain a little bit more, where it's like that's where the characters are existing, and that's where you're interacting with them. But that's completely viable, and honestly, it's right in line with like the great history of gaming, like tabletop. RPGs, like all that's where all that stuff happens is up in your brain, and these games are capturing that. And so you need both.
I'm washing my glasses. Everybody, I was looking at the camera. It
Hand
looks
check.
a little weird.
Hand check. There it is. I got mine.
Yeah, we got this. Don't worry. Nice story, Jeff. Well said.
Fuck you.
Screaming Madden says, "Hello, Jeff. Eating good on that sports story, Grubb, and Mike still dons Silk Song clown makeup, Miss Naughty. Besides sports story, what was your favorite game shown from the recent Indieworld? Mine was Venba, which looks like a cool cooking narrative game about an Indian family moving to Canada. Also, as someone who follows the game's Twitter, I jumped in joy to see Venba open the Indieworld. What was that game that's like the Drill Dozer's like spiritual successor? That looked super dope.
Pepper Shaker or something like that. Miss Pepper's World.
Pepper Shaker, I think, is right, actually, or something.
Pepper
Yeah,
Shaker.
that looked cool. There was another game that once again had very big Castlevania vibes. Castlevania
Pepper
vibes,
Grinder.
Pepper Grinder. That's it. Grinder makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pepper
Okay.
Grinder was definitely the one that stood out the most for me after Sports Story. Maybe even with Sports Story. Pepper Grinder looks like a lot of fun. Really looks like
Pepper Grinder it just knows exactly what it's going for, and it looks like it's got great game feel, and you can tell just by looking at it. A lot of times with indie games, they're sold on GIFs, right? If it would make a good GIF, I'm going to try it. Pepper Grinder is such a choice-looking GIF game. So, yeah, they really got something there.
Jayden says, "Sup, my favorite podcasters. Thank you. Last week I got a gym membership, and I had been considering bringing my Switch to use on the treadmill with the screen propped up and the controllers attached.
Ooh,
What do you
good
think
call.
would be the great game to play on it? Preferably something easy since I'm already working out."
Why don't I do that? I've been trying to play. I said on the Bombcast last week that I play Marvel Snap while driving, and a lot of people got real mad. I couldn't possibly do that. I tried to play my Switch while walking on my treadmill, and I got distracted and fell over. So I can't even walk and play games, let alone drive.
He's
so
only a danger to himself, everybody. It's okay.
Yes, exactly. I was just playing it up, but I was like, wait, I get like dizzy doing this. So I'm like, I can't actually play games on my treadmill. That's a bummer. But I could much more easily do it if I wasn't holding it in my hands. That's what gives me the equilibrium wobblies. So if I just put it in tabletop mode, I've actually found a use for that kickstand. So I should do that. I think Kirby
let me
would
get
be
ahead of
pretty
this
good.
again real quick. Jeff does not actually play Marvel Snap while driving.
I do not.
It's a joke. He
was-
does not do that.
Actually, what happened was I was playing it a lot, and I got in my car, and I was backing up, and I just, without thinking, started a match. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I was thinking to myself, like, while finishing the match in my driveway, I was imagining like driving back and like actually trying to do this, and oh my god, I could never ever actually do that. But yeah, I think Kirby would make a pretty good treadmill game, because I think it's like a slow enough pace that you could actually like do both things without having to worry about dividing your attention too much.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I would almost like doing something like chill to me is like just randomly practicing some new Smash Brothers character against computer players even. That's what I did a lot back when I had the 3DS Smash Brothers and I was in lines in Disney World and stuff like that. Because that's something like at any point if I need to stop, whatever, very easy to jump into, jump out of. So something like that. Maybe even like some of the sports game. I bet, I know Mario Golf and there isn't the best thing. I bet that'd be a pretty fun thing to play while working out. Pretty chill and relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably lots of good answers on this one.
Honestly, yeah.
Casual says, "Dear Jeff, broccoli cheddar Grubb, and Mike, a white delight Minotti." What's white delight?
I don't know.
Gross. I'm scared.
Yeah, it sounds like half and half. I don't know.
What's a dream holiday of yours, domestic or international? For funsies, Mike can't pick a theme park. Fuck. Jeff, you go to town, bud. Pick whatever you want. Love you all. Love you and all that you do. Thank you. Yeah, I was going to definitely just say Disney Sea in Japan, which you had questions about, Jeff, during the podcast.
I did.
Disney Sea questions for me?
Nautical theme, not a water park. So it's like
Yeah.
just you'll look on the wall and there's an octopus.
No, so like the whole thing is like there's kind of like a big
Like what if
lake.
Mickey Mouse, but he's in a submarine?
So you know how like in Disneyland there's all the different themed lands. Here they're all different themed ports. So there's like a Jules Verne kind of themed port, and there is
Okay.
like a submarine. Then there's like the American boardwalk port, and that's just kind of the connective theming tissue. So everything's very water themed and nautical, but it's not like water. It's not a water park in terms of water slides and stuff. And it's just supposed to be very pretty and very well done.
I
It's
tell you,
like,
I
so-
tell you what, Mike. If we ever get to 1,000 patrons, the Game Mess business account will pay for us to go to Disney Sea. All right.
Okay, then Mikey working overtime.
Yep.
So you go, because now I have to think that something doesn't
Yeah,
involve
I mean, honestly, right now, the dream vacation would literally be Disney World in Orlando once the Nintendo World is done, and then we go to Universal Studios and go to the Harry Potter stuff because my wife was watching the movies and she's in the mood for that. Even though I have my reservations about Harry Potter these days, but whatever. The theme park seems like a nice enough thing to engage with. But yeah, we've been talking about it. It's real low on money, but I would love to make that happen. But especially like I think the kids 3 and 5, I think as they get 4 and 6, boy, that would be perfect. So we're looking to maybe make it happen here pretty soon. That would be the dream. Other than that, Japan. We were talking about in the Bombcast today. Would love to go to Tokyo and Kyoto.
Yeah,
and
it's one of those things
Osaka.
where so many people assume I just have been there because of our job, and I feel like right before we started, that was just true, where people were just going to Japan all the time.
Yep.
But we never really had opportunity to go to Japan. We've been at this for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean,
each other.
the only place I've been to Japan in their airport on my way to Singapore because a business conference that we could accept travel from, because we couldn't accept travel from companies that we covered. But when another outlet was like throwing an event and would offer travel, and that's what would happen, we could accept that. So like I flew out to Singapore twice because of that, and the connecting flight was in Tokyo, and I was just like, man, I'm right there, and I can't get out of here. It was a real bummer.
Yeah, I think that's right. And
I got to go to
gosh,
their Japanese McDonald's in the airport though, and that was pretty
there
cool.
you go. That's fine. Yeah. Like all of our stuff that we got to go to is basically in China at that point. Or
Yeah, for the same things. Yeah, same kind of thing. China
I think
joy.
my answer, I would like to go to the Scottish island of Islay, where they make all the peaty scotch, and I would like to do distillery tours. Go see Lagavulin and Ardbeg and Lafroig, all of them. I think just kind of go around that beautiful countryside there on the boats. That's, I think, my dream vacation. That or like Hawaii if it's something more boring, but yeah. Next one. Here, that's a fun question. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Casual. Hosp says, "Hey yo, dogs! Fired up Pokemon Blue over the weekend on the old analog pocket and instinctively picked Bulbasaur as I did 22 years ago. Or I see myself going through all the usual motions. How easy do you guys find it to try new stuff in old games you've played to death? Pretty hard. There's some things I'm like just opposed to. Like even when I replayed KOTOR, like the first time I played Knights of the Republic, I did Light Side. So you would think, well, no, play Dark Side. I was like, nah, I like to Light Side. I want to see even and if I play Pokemon, like I probably will just pick that starter I liked the first time because there was a reason that I like them. And I'm also not somebody too much for like replaying games and all that things anyway. So
Yeah, like,
I think I am.
We're playing games for a deeper reason than to see the content, right? We're not just
Yes,
there.
exactly.
We're not content tourists mostly as people, and I think especially as anyone who like is super into gaming, you are there to express yourself, and it is really hard to turn that stuff off when I'm playing a game, even when I've played multiple times before. I am more likely than not going to fall into playing the game that feels the way that feels right to me. And that's usually means playing it the exact same way I did before, with maybe some minor changes or differences. I think playing Pentiment right now, most of my regrets are not like, oh, I'm not getting to see that content. It's like, oh, this character is upset with me, and I really wish they weren't. I wish I would have said the other thing. Like I thought about saying the other thing, but I also, if I said that, they could have got hurt in this other way. But right now they're mad at me, and I don't want them to be mad at me. I'm not thinking like, oh, I don't get to see that thing. And so I would probably, like even Pentiment, I would probably play mostly the same way. But of course, if I could change those decisions, I would.
Yeah, the one thing I will do is like sometimes if I play a game again years later, or if it's an RPG, I like to like really figure out, okay, what's the min-max thing here? Like what is the optimal route /build, and I will like play like that. I did do that when I played Codes War again, and that stuff's kind of fun for me just to see how powerful you can get by following some guide. Mr. Boer says, "What's up, Nintendogs? With how well everyone took your game controller tiers, it's time again to rank things that surely won't make anyone irrational. With Pokemon Scarlet and Violet fast approaching, I want you to give me the top 3 and bottom 3 mainline Pokemon title names. You aren't judging the games, just the titles. Oh, so anyone can play. Bonus points for filling in the middle 3. As a refresher, here are your options. Okay, I'm going to just go off the cuff, and in terms of just the names, go best to worst here. I think that Sword and Shield actually may be the best name. Maybe because I actually predicted those and I got really high on my britches. Sun and Moon, good names. Gold and Silver, great. Black and White, Diamond Pearl, Red and Blue, Ruby Sapphire, Scarlet Violet, X and Y. X and Y is worst.
Okay, so that's you're just straight up ranking it. I'm gonna do okay.
Just straight up did it.
Okay,
did it, baby. I got my bonus points. It's worth my Patreon. Take me to Disney Sea, bitch.
All right, on our way. I'm sure we are. We just got 700 Patreon subscribers.
Oh, baby! Whoa. Look out, Mickey! Here I come! Double arigato, Mr. Walt Disney!
Sayonara, USA! All right. I think the top 3 are starting with number 3. I think Sun and Moon, and then number 2 is Red and Blue, and number 1 is Gold and Silver. I really like Diamond and Pearl. It's probably right there on the bubble. I think X and Y probably is the worst, and then I don't really like Ruby and Sapphire, and I don't really like Sword and Shield actually. So
you don't like that name?
It's like my third least favorite. Yeah.
You didn't get to feel good about predicting it. Actually.
Exactly. Yeah, I have no relationship with it.
Dugan says, "My kids love Kirby, and now I love Kirby. What is something game related that you experienced differently after your interactions with the target demo? I mean, the children in your life." I just my one niece who really likes Naruto was making me watch her play some Naruto game on Switch that she really liked, and I was like, "Yeah, this looks actually pretty fun." She was doing all this, like Naruto could send clones of himself out to attack people. I thought that looked cool. I was like, I would actually maybe play this. I don't have as many experiences like this that you do, I'm sure, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm playing Kirby with literally. I'm doing this right now. Where I liked Kirby in the Forgotten Land, but knowing that Addie was enjoying it and being like, "Hey," and she's like, "Ask me, come play 2-player with me. Come play 2-player with me." I'm like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Can we actually just continue my save so I can beat this game?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, yeah." And then doing that, it's like, "Oh, I really like this. This is really fun." She's having a good time. I'm having a good time. I told you
that game gets better the more and more you play it.
It gets really good. It's like really, there's a lot of variety in the visuals, and the music is always good, and the character design is great. It's a good game. It's got a lot of Dark Souls energies in its boss. Like obviously it's not, but like that cat does feel like a Dark Souls boss.
I know what you mean. It's all about the patterns. Man.
Yeah.
Beefhammer says, "What's up, Jeff and Mike? Fortnite is our game of the year. Grubb and Minotti. Elden Ring has been nominated for Best Narrative, and since Jeff definitely voted for it, I'd like to hear him explain the plot of Elden Ring in detail." Start with that. He's got a part 2 here, but go ahead, Jeff. Explain the plot of Elden Ring. I'm going to time you because I don't want too long here. You have 30 seconds starting now.
Yeah. A man is in a place and it's fallen apart, and he needs to help bring back the power to a lady. There you go.
Wow, Jeff, a third of the time that I gave you. Very well done.
I mean, my point with this is I built my own narrative while playing it because the lore was so strong. My character didn't care about any of that shit, but because it existed and my character was making a choice to ignore it, it was more powerful. Like, and you know, I played a character that was just trying to survive in this crazy fucked up place that has these crazy giants that are all clashing with each other, and I'm so small and so little, and I'm just trying to survive. That's narrative, and it's all happening. It's all possible because they built this incredible lore behind it. And to me, it was way more powerful than a lot of the things that just have straight up plots.
Besides, in the intro, that strong narrator voice guy goes, "The loathsome dung eater." And
Right.
that's just the best line of video games
Right,
in the decade.
top one line of the year, absolutely.
Yeah, good stuff there. Then Beef Hammer says, for a Nintendo-related question, Mike, why did Nintendo keep Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker from getting a Best Family Game nomination? It's because Square Enix has really been dragging their feet on that cloud version of that one for Switch. Nintendo's not happy. Pablo Costa says, what's up, Perros? I can't believe you think the Switch Pro Controller is a B-tier controller. Heresy. Just kidding. In fact, let me share my experience with it. My Pro Controller started to drift 10 months after buying it. Had to open it and clean all the debris and residue left by the analog sticks. Since I was already doing that, I did Spawnway's Scotch tape trick to enhance the D-pad. What the hell? The controller works better now, but I wish all these steps were necessary. Happy Tuesday. Wow. There's a Scotch tape trick.
Well, I think that's to stop the false
D-pad?
inputs on the D-pad. That's the problem I was having. Like all kinds of really frustrating false inputs. At least this isn't another Wii U weirdo about the Wii U Pro controller, but yeah.
Jamie H1224 says, do you think we see anything from the Nintendo debut at the Game Awards? Probably too soon for another Tears of the Kingdom trailer, but how about Splatoon DLC or more Mario Kart tracks? P.S. Barring character design overhauls, we never getting Advance Wars, are we? I still think we can get it eventually. Now, today's news is not helping.
Imagine they'd be like, listen, things are starting to calm down. Let's put it out on the week of November 15th. And let's just...
Nope.
Fuck, not now. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, Ukraine was out talking about how things are winding down. And like they were even saying it. Now, after today, who knows? But honestly, maybe after today, things do start to calm down. You would hope so. You would hope that cooler heads could prevail after such a senseless, stupid thing, like bombing the wrong country.
Oopsie doopsie.
A big oopsie doopsie by our friends over in Russia.
Oopsie doopsie fucky wucky.
Yeah, we're making another fucky wucky. I think it probably comes out sometime next year. I still think it probably does come out. There is, in my mind, still a significant chance, that being like 5%, 1 in 20, that it actually still doesn't come out ever. More likely than not, it does though.
About Nintendo at the Game Awards, it seems like in the Doug Bowser era, we haven't gotten big announcements from Nintendo at the Game Awards.
Jeff Keighley doesn't have Bowser's number. I mean,
yeah. So there'll probably be something, like maybe they'll show off those Mario Kart 8 tracks or something like that. But I don't think we're gonna get like the Switch Pro, Switch, announced here, or the next Mario announced here. Or, some people are like, oh, it's gonna be a Mario movie trailer too. No, I don't think so. Biden says it wasn't Russia. Came out with a statement while you were streaming, says Joe T. He did not comment on Game of the Year though. Well, interesting.
All right then.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, who did it? Wait, well, that's concerning. Then who did do it?
Yeah, right. It's a Russian-made missile, so that's like all anyone's willing to say anymore.
Oh gosh, fun stuff. But above the Nintendog pay grade, I think, Jeff. Let's continue.
That
talking
seems
about
completely fair.
Nintendo
Yeah.
Questions. Octo says, "Yo, Jeff, I love saying Pentiment Grubb and Mike. Will the rest of you 8 billion fuckers leave me alone about having children, Minati?" Fun fact about FIFA Ultimate Team: Foot. In Romanian, foot means fuck, a form of the verb. I had the pleasure of interviewing people at EA Romania, and it was funny to hear them only explicitly say FIFA Ultimate Team in its entirety. Cheers. Man, they're cowards. They should just be saying fuck constantly.
Absolutely. Never not be saying fuck.
Fuck One Up versus CPU Fuck says, hello, Combat Evolved, and Xbox turned 21 today.
Oh.
Happy birthday to Master Chief. Friday is also a very special day because Pokemon comes out, and it's the 21st anniversary of the GameCube and Metroid Prime's 20th. Metroid Prime's 20th, man. Anyway, got any AEW Full Gear predictions? Do you think we'll get the game's release date? Yeah, man, what's going on with that? I mean, I guess I know what's going on with that game, is that CM Punk was on the cover, and now it's like, what do they do?
He's still, if you go to the game's website, he's still the most prominent thing on there.
Yeah,
and you would think... I mean, I don't know. What happens with wrestling games a lot of times is they just have to go with it, right? These things have a long lead time, and you just have to go with it. But in this case, it might not. It might be toxic enough specifically that it's not worth it, and they might have to delay it to undo at least him being on the cover. He might still end up being in the game.
It never had a 2022 release window, so it wasn't super rigid. So maybe they're like, you know what? Hey, this is an opportunity. We can polish this thing off more, anyways. Maybe they're gonna take that. I don't know, but I don't think I don't think we're gonna get a release date here. As far as the pay per view, I mean, MJF's gonna win. I think. That's pretty easy. Otherwise, I'm trying to, it seems like I don't want to say it's like a weaker card, but it's definitely a less memorable card than we've had at some
Yeah, you hope
past
that
shows here.
that is that belies that maybe a lot of
Sure.
interesting things that'll pop off there. Dan Reichert and Jeff Bakalar will be there.
Really?
Dan's taking Bakalar and he says he's going to explain
Oh.
everything to him. Last
Cool.
time they were in this building, they met up with a young man at the time who was known as Daniel Bryan, and they gave him one of those really hot chips that they gave me at the Bombathon. And
It didn't phase you at all.
yeah, he no sold it way better than me though. And then he said apparently later it was very hot, but he was he wasn't wrestling at the time, so they were like debating about trying to do it again, and like no, he's wrestling that night, so you actually can't do that to him that night. So don't expect any Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson eating any hot chips.
Interesting. I am looking for a show. I'm looking forward to the Elite being back. I miss them, and they've been teasing that. The Uncharted Wolf says, "Hi, Jeff. Jeff Jefferson, Jeff Steen, Jeff Front, Jeff Sember, Jeff Miss, Jeff Grubb, and Mike. Content Creator of the Year should have gone to me, Minotti. Jeff, did the Content Creator of the Year award make you feel old? I knew Nibel, and then I was like, who are these other people?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Apparently, Blessing Junior's like really good friends with that Carl
Right.
Jacobs guy or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I did not know any of them before that category except for Nibel, of course.
With Game Award nominations up, the conversations about the integrity of the awards, as well as it being all paid off, spring up. While I think the show is extremely far from perfect and needs many more improvements, I watched the show for what it is: a dumb fun award show to watch with friends, eat some wings, laugh at the cringe, and watch some cool game reveals. Do you
That's
think
exactly
people
right.
take the show too seriously, or should we hold it to a higher standard and make it like Dice? Which improvements would you make if you were part of Keely's council? I think there's absolutely nothing improper going on. I think like in some ways the process might be flawed. I think the big, like doing it in December early December is obviously not ideal in terms of fairness, because of course games that come out in December this year are always going to have a hard time when it comes to the next year. There's other little things that I don't think we're even allowed to talk about, but yeah, everybody definitely takes it too seriously. That
Yeah,
is for sure. Even
I'm
us.
I'm not interested in trying to make people take it more seriously either.
hmm Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Like we have, like Dice, like you said,
Yeah.
these other things. If you want to,
I think
none of this is real.
I thought
None
it
of
was
this
like,
is real.
yeah, none of this is real, and I thought it was in its proper place for quite some time, and now everyone is beginning to treat it like the default. Like, no, this is the Oscars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I really liked it better when we didn't do that. I really liked it better when we all just kind of agreed it is another award show, not the award show. But whatever, it's really no skin off my ass. Whatever, people can treat it however they want to treat it.
Lost City Prime says, "Good evening to the dogs. At this moment, it appears Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the favorite for next year Game Awards. Barring any delays, what game do you think could knock it off from winning, or perhaps being nominated?" I wonder, is there a possibility that all of this Switch getting old stuff, is there any chance that we get Tears of the Kingdom? We are actually like, this is kind of disappointing to be excited for this game for 6 years and realize that I'm still playing it on that same system that was about as powerful as a Wii U.
I mean,
Right?
it's possible for sure, but I think it's I don't know. They've lived up to the hype last time. I suppose maybe I don't know. And after all those delays,
You don't want to discount it. It would be
right? There's no
surprising.
in good conscience discounting it at this point would be unfair, but probably also unwise considering that team.
hmm But there's some big games coming out next year. The Resident Evil 4 remake, Starfield. I have a lot of hope for Final Fantasy 16. We'll see. So there's definitely games. There's always surprises. There's who would have thought It Takes Two would have won Game of the Year last year, and these things happen. Who even really thought Elden Ring was actually going to come out and be that big a deal? Nobody. Lossian says, since Jeff would reconsider the bare naked ladies, what are some old Nintendo games that you have written off that you might consider revisiting? I mean, I plan to give GoldenEye a very fair shake here when it comes out. I got my Nintendo 64 controller. I'm going to do it right. I'm not going to go into it trying to validate my, old opinions about this game. I'm going to see what's up with GoldenEye. And I've been playing a lot of boomer shooters since then. I kind of have an affinity for those I didn't even have back then. So I'm interested in playing GoldenEye when that does happen.
I am never going to reconsider Donkey Kong 64. It's always going to be trash, and I will never give it another chance ever. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Major Yorha says, why was Kirby snubbed? No nicknames, not even saying I love you guys. I just need an answer. I know you guys know something. I was about to say something I shouldn't have.
Oh,
No, I'm not going to say it. I don't even know if Jeff Keighley has a wife. Lenny, Cool Dick Denver says, hey, Mike.
I get it. I get it now. I get it.
Hey, Mike, the original Magic Mike. Google it with Say Search off. Minotti, no thank you. And Jeff, Bubsy 3D has 3 endings, and Dan must never find out about this Grubb. Will Hellblade 2 get an actual release date at the Game Awards? Also, what is the likelihood of a GoldenEye stealth drop there, or Metroid Prime remake? Again, I don't expect big Nintendo news coming out of the Game Awards. But Hellblade 2 getting a release date? Maybe.
Hellblade 2 getting a release date, I think, has got a pretty decent shot of happening at the Game Awards.
Okay.
But I don't know for sure. I think it seems possible.
G-Man Sir says, hello, Mike. I love Xenoblade Hentai Minotti, or Miss Naughty, excuse me. And Jeff, I cried because Xbox has no nominations. Grubb. What are 2 categories that you think would be beneficial to include in the Game Awards?
What's the question? Like categories?
Yeah, well, if you could add 2 categories.
I mean, honestly, I'd much rather take away 2 categories. Take away action and adventure. Take away fighting.
Yeah, I don't like genres.
Genre awards are so ancient and out of place at this point. That's one way you could tell this is not a serious award show, because they haven't reconsidered their categories in forever, and games have changed so much since you could just neatly fit them into action and adventure and action adventure. We really got to move on from that stuff. But
the genres have always been confusing, and that's how you end up with things like, is Sifu a fighting game? Probably not, but it's like you fight people.
2 of my favorites that Giant Bomb always does that we will probably do this year are best character and best new character. I think those are always really fun. It gets you into the nitty gritty of, when you talk about them at least, the nitty gritty of why these games are good and why characters matter in games. And I think those are always really fun.
Emulate Wind Waker says, hello, Mike and Jeff. Predicted the Twitter situation by designating this the year of the boners, Minotti and Grubb. If you made an award to give to your co-host at the Keighley Awards, what would the award be called? What would the trophy be? And who would you choose to present it to them? I would give Jeff the Sorry You Had to Cut Your Hair award. Presented to him by my barber, and it will just gonna be a picture of like my face crying.
Yeah, seems fair.
Do you have anything for me, Jeff?
What's the question again? I was about to tweet something, and I forgot. I stopped listening to you because I don't really like you
that
much.
You're about to tweet in the middle of the questions, were you?
Yeah, absolutely. Someone mentioned that the Bombcast got horny since I took over, and I wanted to confirm that. So
I just wanted to make sure that this is your fault. I think I'm a bad influence on you, and then you carried it over there. I was the one that thought. Yeah, I don't think you knew what a honey pop was until I came along.
No, I did. I definitely did not.
Yeah, you have to make an award to give me at the Keighley Awards. You have to name the award, what it will look like, and who gives it to me.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Most gracious balding person. Wow. And yeah, you handled it really well. This is an award, Mike. This is a positive thing.
Yeah, this is nice. Okay.
Also
from my barber.
also from your barber.
Yeah. And also just a picture of my face crying.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
When I was I had one of our videos just on because I was doing some work on it, and Addie asked why you don't have hair, and I had to explain that some men go bald and stuff. And then she said, "I don't want you to go bald." I'm like, okay. Like, listen, don't tempt fate, honey, please.
Oh, Jeff, there's your out. Just tell them it'll upset your kids, so you're not going to go. Honestly, it probably will.
Oh, it's totally going to upset them. It's going to upset Steph too, but it goes back.
What are you going to do? We made a promise to the internet.
Yeah, I know, right? How do I explain that? I can't tell her.
Call it says, my question is simple. Mike, can you keep Jeff from spoiling God of War like he did with the hit movie Tar? What's Tar?
Tar's the one where she has to, she's a famous composer and conductor.
Oh, right.
And then she has to do a Monster Hunter concert because she's fallen from grace. I love that shit. I love that. I can't wait to watch this
hilarious.
movie. And it's not even like, oh, that's so stupid. Like, no, I love that. That's how that goes. That's so good.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Matt Rare Monkey says, "Hello, Beef and Cheddar Boys. Do you always play through as the good side in games? Supposedly, people in the U.S. tend to play good. In EU, is much more even. I almost always pick Team Good Guys. I have to admit, Jeff.
Yep.
Like I said, almost always light side. Almost always played Alliance instead of Horde. Back when it was more clear that the Alliance was the good guys, so it became a bit more muddy later. But yeah, I think so.
Yep. I am the good guy. At worst, I'll be a rapscallion, which is a class I picked in Pentiment. Like if someone is being a shit or they're being bad, I threaten them and I say I'm gonna punch your teeth in. That's what that means in that game. And it's like, cool, yeah, I'll be a rogue type character, but I'm a good rogue.
That was an out of control mechanic for a while. Like Infamous, Fable, every Star Wars game, everything had a good bad slider. Like Dragon Age, all that shit.
You know,
it got out of control.
Everything was taking RPG stuff, and they're like, well, it has that too. We got to take that too. And yeah, it got out of hand. It was barely interesting the first time we got it. It was not interesting the second time through the 50th time.
No, absolutely not. All right then, Jeff. I think it is time for us to talk about some GameCube covers. I say we got some super chats. We could maybe save all those for after this, I think, if that's okay with everybody. Some of them are about the GameCube covers too. If you have super chats still that you want to share, bring them on. They will all get brought up. Jeff, do you have a favorite GameCube box art?
I mean, the thing that pops into my mind immediately probably is Metroid Prime. I think it's, yeah, I just like it because it feels very early 2000s. It's got the big logo, and I just like the way she looks. Her suit design was always great, and then they had this incredible 3D model, and they're like, let's just use that. Let's just throw Samus up there in a hero pose and just let it own, and it does. It looks great.
I do love this one. It is very simple, and there's a lot in this era of just like, here's one of the 3D character models, and it doesn't look great. This is a very good character model. That logo is fantastic. It even works really well with the GameCube kind of like swirl up here. I do love this box art. I even had, it's not a bobblehead, it's more of a bobble torso. I got it GameStop like around the time
that
the
looks
game
great
came out.
too. Yeah.
So it's the same exact kind of pose that she's doing and stuff like that. I've always did like that. Even though I think Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, which I have, I think that actually design wise is better.
Yeah, I agree.
Technically.
Sure.
But it's just not as iconic to me. Like, it's very good. I like the holofoil of it too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's very fetching.
Exactly. It's really pretty. It's really eye grabbing. But I just think of Metroid Prime first.
Yeah, and then I actually like looked through almost every box art I could find, Jeff, and then I kind of got frustrated when I realized my favorite was the very last GameCube game I played, Eternal Darkness. But there's a simplicity to this. It's not just like a character model. I like that it looks kind of spooky and
but it's like,
I don't know,
it
mysterious.
implies cosmic horror. There is this light, this ethereal light, and then there's multiple planets orbiting right above it, and they're of different size, and it's like, oh, it is this cosmic horror come to Earth is what it feels like, and that's exactly what the game is about. It does a good job of capturing that stuff.
Yeah, it's just a good color scheme here too, a good logo. Then my slightly offbeat choice is G Racing Revolution, the often forgotten Ridge Racer spinoff that came to GameCube and I think PlayStation 2. I don't know, I think there's a simplicity to this that I liked. Ridge Racer always had that thing with like the mascot girl. I don't know. I thought that was kind of cute. But this one works for me for whatever reason. But Jeff, let's see what the community has to say about the GameCube box art.
Yeah, let me, you guys start reading while I get the Discord back open that I closed. I'm sure people put all their images in.
Benji Glasky says he always loved how goofy these box arts are. Man, on the bottom right, definitely dead. He has Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2. I was watching, I think Matt McMuscles play one of these. These are crazy. Like, these are story-based games. It's like a Call of Duty campaign, except you're a fucking hunter, right?
Yep.
He was playing some Xbox 360 one. You're like hunting with your dad, and the dad gets killed by a bear, and you need revenge, I think.
Hell yes.
Against the bear. Yeah, these games look goofy as hell, and I kind of desperately want to play some, actually.
Honestly, this is hang on, I got it right there. Just hang on.
Yeah, both of these guys are absolutely dead. By the way, look at this. They have no chance. I mean, Bear Guy has it worse, I guess. I don't know. The other one's already being clawed. I like how, like, why do we have to have the close-up pictures of the animals on the left? Why couldn't it just be the people being attacked? I don't know.
So on Giant Bomb, we did a community stream where we designed a bumper sticker with the community, and I'm gonna move this over in front of Mike so you can see both at the same time. And we used the characters from this cover on there, and you can see it's the guy getting attacking the cheetah, and we put the wrestler from Tekken, his head on the bear, or on the other cheetah, whatever it is.
King.
Yeah, we put King on there, and over here it's the guy with the knife, but we got rid of the bear.
I didn't even, man, I've seen this bumper sticker. He go to the polls. I did not make the connection. That's incredible.
Yes, and then if you look in the background there's Kirby covered in pizza. It's really hard to see that, but that's what's back there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Very good.
All right.
You ready for the next one, Jeff?
I am. Let me scroll down.
Sports Story, Game of the Year, Bop says, browsing through a list of box art, I just stumbled on this one and thought, okay, this is badass. Only to find out it's a tie-in game from a movie starring Matthew McConaughey.
Rain of Fire.
It's included in Prime Video, so we'll be watching this ASAP. Honorable mention to Strikers. Rain of Fire.
Watch Rain of Fire.
And if it's on, yes, Jeff, we are doing a watch party. That's a good movie.
Yes.
I like that movie.
The best part of that movie is when they just because it's dragons have taken over the world and society's collapsed. It's when like the leaders of the resistance against the dragons tell Star Wars to the kids, just like as oral history. It's really great.
It's good. That is a fun.
That's probably just the poster for the movie, right?
Almost certainly. And I'm all about it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Technically a Disney movie, so that's interesting. This is technically a Disney tie thing here. So I want to play this game back. I'm going to add it to my list. I need to get Rain of Fire for GameCube.
Yeah, I'm like checking right now to make sure it really is on Prime Video.
I think it is. I think I actually did look recently, and I think I did see it, and I was like, "Ooh, that's one to consider."
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, maybe you can host one, I can host one, and we'll watch together.
Awesome.
Screaming Madden says, favorite GameCube box art is Wario World, aka the most underrated GameCube game according to Mike Naughty. I kind of do believe that. Personally, like the Western box art better since you see Wario on a pile of treasure, Scrooge McDuck style, while drooling. The Japanese box art is literally covered in gold with Wario making the same drooling face as a message saying, powerful Wario game 2004. That is a good message.
Yeah, I love that. I love that Japanese box art, though. That's really good.
Yeah, he does just look so happy in that US box art. Like, normally it's like, they always like, oh, Wario is like a bad person, though. Actually, he needs to pay. He's just living his best life there, and there's nothing wrong with that. You go, Wario. You drown in that gold. Dr. Sus just says, Scissor Me Daddy and has dancing stage Mario mix. I thought that this was like an actual official DDR game. It's like, I thought it was like Dance Dance Revolution.
It is, because it's Konami.
Yeah, I thought like
I think this has got to be like because that's like that's got to be like the European or Australian or maybe Japanese one.
It's just not called that there. Yeah, that makes sense. Jayton says, I'm choosing this badass cover to honor the late Kevin Conroy, as he was both in the game and the series this was based on, the new Batman Adventures. Also, fun fact, Sinshu was made as a brand new DC character for the game. Okay, so this is Batman Rise of Sinshu. That is a pretty good cover. I mean, it's the animated Batman art style, which always looks great, right?
Yeah, and it looks really great on this cover. It's really well done.
Oh, I'm glad One Up for CPU brought this one up. Zelda Four Swords Adventure. I really like the art in this one. It's not covered up with a gold gradient like the Wind Waker box. Pretty sure weaving a sword through a Z like that is impossible. The Wind Waker box, I don't really like that gold gradient on it, to be honest. This is actually just pretty cool art.
I mean, this is maybe the peak of the Wind Waker style Link on cover. Yeah.
I want to play this one pretty bad. This is one of the few Zelda games I haven't quote unquote beaten. So it's high on the to-do list.
That's the connectivity one, right? That's what it is. Yeah,
it is, but you can play it single player. You kind of control all four of them at the same time, and it works.
We should see if we like emulate that with like Dolphin or whatever, and just play it on stream.
Yeah, you probably could. Or conversely, Jeff,
we could just go all out. Yeah,
3 Link cables and 3 Game Boy Advances. Just saying.
Let's do it. The way Miyamoto intended.
Yeah, we'll invite the guy who made Pac-Man onto the stage.
Yeah.
Bench JC says there ain't much to be said, but just the absolute hype in this box art. I've never played Melee or owned a GameCube, but if it's anything like Smash Ultimate, I can't even imagine the hype just walking in the store and seeing this one on the shelf. Yeah, this one is pretty great. There's a part of me that's like, it feels like it's a little cluttered with all those little faces on the side there. But yeah, that definitely does hit really well. Especially, I know a lot of people liked Super Smash Bros. The first one's cartoon style, but like Smash Bros. Melee did come out like this is more serious now. And I was kind of all about it. I was like, yeah, this is badass now. These aren't like toys fighting each other. This is like for real, fight to the
This
death.
is Nintendo's best in 4-player action, is what it is.
Yes, exactly correct, Jeff. Mr. Boer says,
Hell
can't
yes.
go wrong with the box art for Odama, a giant face in the sky, a big head with spider legs, some ass. There's something for everyone. There is some ass.
I think specifically the reason this game is so good is because you got it wrong in the final Jeopardy.
Yes, that was infuriating.
Yep.
Casual says, gotta love this Crush-y Pikmin 2 cover. You just gotta. Oh, I know somebody who would like this cover, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
that
I liked Pikmin 1 a lot. I forgot Pikmin 2's cover just had that giant meep on it. I'm going to show this to Addie. She likes Pikmin a lot.
There you go. Dugan says, this box art inspired a lot of FOMO for me. It was the first pickup from my Steam Deck, Dolphin Rules. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike. I want to play this one because obviously Rogue Leader gets all the love, and it should. Rebel Strike has those on-foot missions that are, from what I remember, kind of awkward. But I kind of want to play it again. And I love this. This is pretty cool. Luke staring down an AT-AT, right?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Like, come on. I mean, what were all these games known for? Hoth levels, and here's that. Just go for it.
Yep.
This is interesting. Tink says, I think it's the PAL Resident Evil 4 cover. It legitimately gives me the creeps and features Captain Burlap, the name my friends and I gave to the chainsaw man with a sack over his head. It rules. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's better than the US one.
Yeah, you imagine you're walking in the woods at dusk and you see that right there. Yeah, you're gonna shit your pants. Absolutely. Yeah. Just the Captain what's his name? Captain Knapsack sitting there. Sitting there at the end of the walkway. Very scary stuff.
Captain Burlap.
Yes, there we go. Captain Burlap.
Hoff says, can you get any better than Luigi Home Aloneing it up? I mean, this is a bit of that just shoving 3D renders on the cover thing that I was talking about, but I'll allow it.
Yep. It's good, though. It looks really good, and Luigi's face is very good there.
Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, the one game on my collection that doesn't fit. I do like the Japanese boxes for GameCube games, though. This game is Kiru Urin Squash. Oh, Jeff, it's this asshole.
I know. I'm so excited. Is it 4-player? It looks like it's 4-player.
Oh shit!
I am 1,000% gonna make a unprofessional Friday about playing this on Dolphin.
There you go. Get your Dolphin ready. Let's go.
Oh my God, we'll do this.
I don't know how I feel about the GameCube box art, like just the wedge there. It's kind of awkward.
Yeah, I mean, right. Just because we're so used to like the US look though, and the US look is fine with the rounded sort of like the rounded part of the GameCube itself there on the top cover. And this is obviously the Japanese cover or the Japanese album art.
Krampus McBasketball says the answer, if only to spite Miyamoto for being a hater, is the 1,000-Year Door. It has Mario, his friends, and a dragon. What more do you need? I just loved all those characters.
Yep.
Yeah, so just seeing them there makes me happy. Those are all good people. Pablo Costa, Snake, and it's Smoker Saw the Twin Snakes. This is another one. Just like here's some 3D character models, especially when they have that artist, like doing this instead. To me, may be a crime. Actually,
yeah, that's very true.
I don't know if I can support this one. Lostian says the best sports game on any Nintendo platform. The one where its successors cannot compare. The original, the only Super Mario Strikers. It has a kick-ass box cover. I mean, yeah, this art style was so good that like they worked hard to make the actual game look like this.
Exactly.
Now,
yeah, they worked backwards to like really capture the stuff, and they, I think they got close. I think they did mostly do that.
They should have put Daisy on the cover though.
Absolutely.
Major Yorha says, "Love the Strikers and Melee box art. The Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is probably my favorite at this point.
It's really good.
It has visor elements over Samus, probably from her Echo Dark Samus, as she is both in the light and dark parts of the box art, showing you who you're saving and who the enemy is. Yeah, it's very, very good.
Yep, it's excellent.
Fluffy Cloud Gamer says, a bit boring, but I do love the logo treatment. Kirby Air Ride. This was, I think, when everybody realized, or like there's a lot more talk about how, holy shit, they just give him angry eyes on all the US box art for no reason. But it was incredible. This one is like very simple and well done. This was like when that specific Kirby logo was relatively newer too. I think
Mhm.
it was still kind of fetching.
The big bubbly letters, yeah.
The Uncharted Wolf 5 says, this week I decided to go with Castlevania. Wait, there's no Castlevania games on GameCube. Crap. Well, since One Up versus CPU asked nicely, and he has already posted his choice, I'll go with Beautiful Joe 2. It has a really awesome comic book aesthetic, which is all I can say because I haven't played the game. Castlevania Lament of Innocence could have run on a GameCube, so let me have this one because it has cool box art. Man, I really wish that Lament of Innocence and Curse of Darkness was on GameCube. It is weird that there were no Castlevania games on the GameCube at all.
Strange.
That's a bummer. Beefhammer says, felt like shouting out Beautiful Joe for some reason in the first one. The perfect way to sell you on the game so that you can take it home, have a Colorado night, watch the intro, and realize you made the right choice. Yeah, I played through this one not too long ago. It's still a very fun game, and it's a very fetching cover art.
Yes, it is.
Oh, look at this. Dominic Malta says, my favorite GameCube box art has to be Star Wars
Oh,
Bounty
I like
Hunter.
this one a lot.
Considering my 8-year-old Brian thought it was okay to take the display-only copy to the GameStop
Brain.
cashier to buy, and the GameStop cashier tried to explain to an 8-year-old, used games don't come with the original box. So I did what every 8-year-old kid would do when they don't get their way. I started crying in front of the GameStop employee. And the response on his face, according to my mom, was priceless. He had no idea how to handle an 8-year-old crying and just gave me it for free and apologized to my mom for making her son cry. Yeah, crying always works. Crying
Yeah.
rules. I had to call my mom earlier today to refresh my memory. I didn't remember quite as much detail as she did, considering I was only 8 at the time. That's fantastic.
That's really good. I love that story. Thank you.
And then Turbo Sean says, Wind Waker continues last week's trend of Japanese Nintendo box art being better than the Western counterpart. But interestingly, Twilight Princess had a much more interesting box over here, while Japan basically just got a piece of concept art. Yeah, I don't love either of these Wind Waker box arts, to be honest, especially considering how visually interesting the game is. Neither of those are doing much.
I like
That
the
US
rainbow gradient on the art in
Yeah,
the background. I like that.
that's something. I do think the US Twilight Princess box art is actually the best here. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I do like that. The MN Goldie says, lots of good ones have already been shown off, so here's what I'm adding. The intensity in Donkey Kong's face tells me shit's going down with DK Bong. There is, this is a bit, again, it's just 3D renders, and then too much just other shit there, like the tagline, Jesus, just the bug, oh my gosh, it's a lot. Hey, look, it's Mr. Driller. Matt, Rare Monkey has Mr. Joe or Drill Land. There you go. And right below that, if you include ones that aren't exclusive, love this cover in general. The Dave Mira Freestyle BMX2. That is a good cover for Dave Mira, right?
Yeah,
Very classy.
it's got a real strong style to it.
Yeah. You know, I was coming in this one, Jeff, like, there's not that many good GameCube covers, actually, but there were some pretty cool ones.
You got to
there.
accept that the style had changed from Super Nintendo and N64. And if you can, find the charm in it, there's a lot there to charm you.
We'll be doing Wii games next week. Shocker, I know. But Jeff, how about we get to those super chats?
Yeah, I got them right here. Let's take a look at these answers. This one comes from Nintenderic. Going to mention Batman Rise of Senzu for best GameCube art in Kevin Conroy's honor. Rip Batman.
That's 2 for Batman Sinzu, so there you go.
I should play that. I've never played it. I
don't know if it's supposed to be good. I thought that there basically weren't any good Batman games in between the 16-bit era and Arkham Asylum, and that's why everyone was so excited about Arkham Asylum.
Right, definitely. I still want to just give it a shot. I just really, God, the animated series was one of the most important shows to me growing up. So
I had I somehow never watched much of that show. I think I had one VHS of Batman Robin being stuck in the Riddler's maze, and my 3DO came with a sample disc of clips from cartoons that included a clip of a Mr. Freeze episode, and that was my relationship.
That episode's one of the best, so one of the earliest as well. Let's see. From the Uncharted Wolf, elaborate on Elden Ring being bad. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm being facetious and playing it up for a podcast, but
he talks about it while he's driving in his car while
exactly. Yes, I'll only explain it there. Now it's the game is obtuse and stuff, like they put platforming in the game and it's not a good platformer, It's aggressive towards the player in a way that feels a lot of times pretty bad, but it's interesting, and it can do that because it's so confident in all the rest of the things it's doing, that you kind of end up falling in love with it. Like it's pushing back against you because that'll get you to push back against the game, and it just works in the end. It works so much better than everything else, but it's not this slickly produced AAA piece of gloss that we get from a lot of other best games ever. This is like a big kind of mess, but I love it more because of that.
Jeff thinks he sounds fancy and clever when he says things like that. It was just best to ignore him.
Exactly. Don't give me any attention and I'll stop saying it eventually. From Calcal780, I'm donating because I love the podcast, but also ask you to randomly predict something that Nintendo will do in 2023. Thank you for that very much. I mean, obviously the easy ones are, it will release a Switch Pro. It won't release a Switch Pro. It'll announce a Switch 2, whatever. Try to maybe go off the beaten path here. Mike, what do you think they're gonna announce?
I think that Pilot Wings is gonna come back.
I like that.
Of nothing.
I like that. Yeah, I think they will release Mother 4.
Mother 4.
Yes, just skip right to Mother 4, and it will come out here same day, and it comes out next holiday. We've been working on it in secret.
What, Jeff? If I needed to buy some time while we got a new system coming out, maybe not a whole lot of games. If we haven't ported Mother 3
the Mother
yet,
3 glass is yet to be broken.
For crying out loud, if not now. But, there's a lot of things we can say that with.
Yeah, there's a lot, definitely.
Do it anyway, so I don't know.
Yep. There you go. That does it for the Super Chats, Mike.
All right, Jeff, you've been playing much, and you've been talking about, you've been playing more Kirby.
Yeah, that's the Switch game I've been playing. That's where I'm able to get my hands back on the Switch. That the kids are they own that thing now. But when I'm like, okay, hey, can I play with you? And I've been able to play Kirby and having a great time with that. But that's about it right now for Nintendo games. I did buy Bayonetta 3. It is sitting there downloaded, waiting for me. I do think I will get to that next once I beat Kirby, which I should beat Kirby probably tonight or tomorrow. We'll see when I'm done with that. But
I know it's like you're already worried about time, but like it really is worth it to do like the true ending in Kirby, which is you have to play a few more levels after you beat it.
That's fine.
Really
I'm having a really good time with Kirby. It gets so good there the more you go into it, and it's just so visually pleasant, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'll be happy to stick with it. And again, it's a real fun thing to play with her. Like she's really good at it, and yeah, it's cool.
Good. The end stop rips. It rips, man.
Cool. Yeah.
I've been like really trying to beat Xenoblade now, and just kind of been making good progress there. I'm past 70 hours in now. I'm like done fooling around too much with side quests and all that stuff. So I want to beat that. So that, there's a bunch of other games to get to still, and I definitely want to beat Xenoblade because it'll probably be a top fiver for me. If low on the top 5, it'll probably be a top fiver.
Yeah, so, I can see that.
That's basically me right now. I did take a break to do a run through of Streets of Rage 2 just because okay, that's a lot of JRPGs. What stupid bullshit can I play on my Switch real quick? And obviously we did the Splatooning this weekend also.
Yeah. I mean,
better final boss than already. The very final boss, the true final boss, Jeff, is super fun in Kirby.
I'm very excited about that. Yeah, we got to the King DDD thing, I think last night or night before that, and that was fun to get to. And that
fight rules.
Yes, it was very cool, and he just animates so well. But yeah, I mean, it was great to get back to Splatoon. I just lost. I don't know. Maybe I switched controllers, and maybe that did it. But I just lost the hang of the motion controls. I got the hang of it. And I'm not at a point for me where it's going to be like riding a bike where it's like I'll just fall right back into it. Sure. I had to turn them off, and then that didn't feel great either. So I mean, obviously, I didn't have a lot of time because the enemies were so tough that we were facing. But maybe I don't know.
They knew what was up. Yeah, we did okay though. We got our wins in, and
but there were. I just wasn't getting any kills, and I'm used to getting like 5 to 10 in a match. So it's like okay, nope. The game has just changed, and I have not kept up. I mean, you got like several million people playing that game. There's going to be a portion of them that is just playing it nonstop and getting better and better. And that turns out that's who's playing that game right now.
And meanwhile, we're trying to play Kirby with children.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
that's where we are. Well, Jeff, I believe we've come to the end. Then we've done it. So, thank you for watching Last of the Nintendogs, or listening to Last of the Nintendogs, everybody. You can find more of me and Jeff at The Game Mess. Check out the Patreon, our Discord, all that fun stuff. Jeff, what are you going to be up to? What's going on?
Yeah, I'll be doing Game Mess mornings for the rest of the week. Look out for those. That should be a lot of fun. Next week is Thanksgiving week already. I just can't believe that it's already here, but we'll figure out what we're going to do for the podcast then. We'll have some plans. But yeah, I don't know. Just join the Discord, GameMess.net. Come join the Discord. Come hang out with us. And if you want to support the show, obviously you can find the links to Patreon there, patreon.com/GameMess, or hit the join button here on YouTube. All that support is really helpful, and we really do appreciate everyone who does back us right now. Get in there. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Master Chief comes